Livio Ramondelli, artist on Transformers Primacy, Transformers Punishment, and all kinds of other Transformers stuff. Next is Agnes Gabrowski, whose name I just mispronounced accidentally. Sorry, Grabowski, is that right?
Garboska.
Never mind. Panel's over. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. I'm sorry. Artist on My Little Pony, and hopefully a forgiving human being. Next is Tom Scioli, writer and artist on Transformers vs. G.I. Joe. Just came out this weekend. Also,
what's up, everybody?
Artist on American Barbarian. And finally, Michael Kelly, the director of global publishing at Hasbro, and our great friend and massive help on all of our comics. So let's jump right into the slideshow, and hope we'll have some time for questions at the end. Who wants to start with Transformers? All right. Oh, and there we go. Robots in Disguise. It's a comic I write. Andrew Griffiths draws it usually, and the Transformers are back on Earth. Optimus Prime is leading a team of Autobots against Galvatron, who's forged an alliance with the human race. They're on the search for a mysterious object that we'll be seeing in the next couple issues. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the series. We're going to see a little bit of a showdown with Prowl and Optimus Prime, and of course, Buster, the Puggle. Thundercracker's been living on Earth, and he's kind of gone native, and he's got a pet dog, and he's writing screenplays. Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. Nobody cares, right? No, I'm just kidding. James Roberts and Alex Milne, neither of whom could be here this weekend. The spectacular adventures of the Lost Light, Rodimus leading the Lost Light off in outer space, looking for the legendary Knights of Cybertron. I don't know if we'll see any old favorite characters maybe mysteriously showing up again. That would be really weird. What's going on in that? I mean, if you guys are following it, you know it's like incredible like personal drama and like incredible science fiction stories. I think if anybody that isn't reading it, well, I mean, you're all at the Hasbro panel, you know it's good, but it's one of the best comics out there, one of the best science fiction comics maybe ever. Let alone Transformers comics, which is a good one.
It's an epic.
Yeah. Windblade. Margaret, you want to jump in and say anything about Windblade, or you want me to? You write it.
Go ahead.
Okay, Windblade. The end. No, Windblade issue 4 just came out Wednesday. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to read it. I don't want to spoil the ending because there's, I think, some kind of shocking events in there. But the response to Windblade has just been incredible. Windblade was a fan-created character at BotCon. I think it was announced at BotCon last year, 2013. And people voted on what characteristics this new Transformers character would have. We came together with Windblade, and she came in the Dark Cybertron series that James and I were co-writing. Mary Greed came in with Sarah Stone on the incredible art in the series, and I don't know. Everybody's just. I mean, it's an incredible series, but just the embrace of fandom of this character has been fantastic to see, and I'm really happy everybody loves it as much as we do. Anything to add?
Oh yeah, no, that all sounds really accurate.
Windblade will return. The character, of course, is going to keep appearing, and she'll be in the next issue of RID. But Windblade by Mary Greed and Sarah will be returning in the very near future. Transformers Primacy. This is the third and final act of the Cybertronian War trilogy, written by Chris Metzen of World of Warcraft fame and Diablo fame. Co-written with Flint Dilley, who you might know from the original Transformers series, and about a million other crazy things that he's done in his life. And then drawn by Livio here, who's also, I mean, a key part of the storytelling of this book. I think that's actually a fascinating thing about that book, Livio, is the sort of the way you guys put it together. If you want to talk about it for a minute.
Yeah, I think we've been really lucky. Like we've done 3 series now. We started with Autocracy and Monstrosity, and initially with Autocracy, like Chris and Flint really had that story. But with the last 2 series, we really kind of like planned it out together, and I was able to add things like into the story that I always wanted to see, which as an artist is great. You get to really play to your strengths and put on paper the things that you always hope to be able to do. So it's very rewarding to feel like you're really part of like the whole process, not just kind of like drawing the script, And I think Primacy's been really fun to do, and I think it's a good ending to our series. It works really well with a contrast to what's going on in More Than Meets the Eye, where you see like how far Optimus and Megatron have come as characters, because this is a prequel, and you'll see a time when they were not friends, and this is one of the worst kind of wars they ever had together. So.
Yeah, if you guys, actually, I should mention that with More Than Meets the Eye. If you guys haven't been following that series, I think the big, like, shocking thing that's happened in the last 4 or 5 months is that Megatron has joined the Autobots and is in command of the Lost Light.
What?
And that causes no end of repercussions, to the other Autobots, but especially to the people on Earth who look at Megatron as one of the worst monsters Earth has ever seen. But yeah, going back into Primacy here, we see the early days of this is when the war like really heats up, and you really see what happens.
I think this is one of the biggest battles I think we've ever shown in IDW. Yeah.
Transformers Punishment is a digital comic that Livio and I did. It's out on the Madefire app. It's I believe up to right now it is still available for free on the Windows iOS or the Windows mobile operating system version of Madefire. It'll be out on other operating systems very shortly. It might have actually gone live or be going live this week or so on some things. The plans keep changing, so pretend like I knew what I was talking about on this one. Drift, Empire of Stone. You guys like Drift? Drift was a character who originally appeared in the IDW comics. He appeared in All Hail Megatron by Shane McCarthy and Guido Guidi. Those 2 guys are back to do a new Drift story that's very, very closely related to what's going on in More Than Meets the Eye. The 2 are very interconnected, and I think if Drift has left he sort of left in disgrace in More Than Meets the Eye by taking the blame for something that he didn't do, and he's been off on his own for the past, year or so probably, and Ratchet is going to seek him out and try to drag him back to the Lost Light and to the main line of the Autobots. Now, here's something we talked about a little bit yesterday. Let's see if this actually plays. Yeah, here we go. So coming up in 2015 across the comic books, across toys, across all sorts of media, is a big event that we've all been planning for a while, with some pieces that we've some seeds that we planted early, from the comics going back to day one. And some new characters that we've been working really closely with Hasbro on developing and figuring out how they're gonna run in this storyline. But it's a little thing called the Combiner Wars. And we announced this yesterday. This will be written by Marguerite Scott, somebody named John Barber, drawn by Sarah Stone, and Livio Ramondelli. Be next year. It's one of like I said there, the war was over. It's time for a new war to start. And I think it's going to be some exciting. I mean, if you've been following the series, you know that the combiners have been a thing that the Transformers have been after for a while, and the key to that is going to make its appearance, and things will escalate very, very, very quickly. But it's a pretty exciting storyline. So, hey, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is the only hard sell I'm going to do here. There's a website called Humble Bundle, and it sells DRM-free PDFs of, it sells a bunch of things, but in the case of comics, it's DRM-free PDFs of comics. You can name your own price, and the proceeds to it go not only to us, but to charity. Michael, maybe you can speak a little bit about that? I think you wanted to. Are you on?
Am I on now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting program because, again, as John said, you can go on, you can name your own price, and you really get access to an exciting catalog of Transformers comics that span the entire storytelling experience. But the other part that makes it near and dear to our hearts at Hasbro is that a portion of the proceeds goes to the Hasbro Children's Fund, which does a lot of work to really promote well-being for children around the world. And we really, it's an exciting part of that program to know that you're not only getting some really awesome comics, but that you're helping children in the process as well. So I do encourage you to check it out, go on the website, and name your own price, get your comics, and help some kids while you're at it.
Yeah, and you go on there, like if you name your own price, you get Transformers Classics Volumes 1 through 4, which is the original 80s series. If you hit the average price that people are paying or above, you get those plus all 4 volumes of All Hail Megatron, all of Autocracy, and Spotlight Volume 1, plus some secret comics we haven't revealed yet. If you go over, I think the price right now is around $10, the average price. But if you go over $15, you also get More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise Volumes 1 and 2. This went live on Wednesday afternoon, and we're over 100. I think we're at about $100,000 right now, which is a lot of money raised for charity. All right, here's announcements. I don't know if you guys have heard, but just fling this off. We're doing Angry Birds Transformers comics. It's going to be written by myself, drawn mostly by Marcelo Fiera, but also by Mr. Livio Ramondelli. This is actually it's a lot of fun. It's obviously spinning off of the games and the toys that Hasbro and Rovio are working together on. After an adventure with the Transformers, the Allspark falls to Piggy Island, and that's when things get crazy, and the Angry Birds characters start developing Cybertronian abilities to change mode, but also the personalities the Cybertronian characters get grafted onto them. So all of a sudden, if you had a pig that was just a minion to the king doing whatever he said, it starts thinking like Starscream, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's one of the funniest comics we've worked on. I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. Livio's drawing the straight Transformers section of it, so there's kind of a hardcore shift from the space battle to Piggy Island. All right, here's another little comic that we're doing that's a crossover. Any of you guys checked out Transformers versus G.I. Joe yet? Went on sale Wednesday, sold out at the distributor level weeks before it was even out. We're having a second printing.
There's nothing faster than selling out before something comes out. That there's immediately isn't a good enough word for it.
But Tom, this is here you are. Go for it.
This is a series that basically changed my life. John called me up one day and said, Tom, you probably don't want to do this. I don't know if this is something that would interest you, but would you like to do Transformers, like a Transformers and G.I. Joe in sort of like a classic old school comics style? And I said, yes, heck yes. I said something different than heck, but I'm told that I have to watch my tongue. And John's like, don't get. He knows how I am. He said, don't get too excited. It's not. We haven't figured it out yet. It's not set in stone. It may or may not happen. But I'm like, oh yeah, John, I get it. And then as soon as we got off the phone, I immediately began work on I think it ended up being 100-some page outline of basically the first 4 years of the series.
Yeah, like I say, issue 1 just came out. The response has been phenomenal. I mean, this has been a lot of people. I think a lot of people are a little trepidatious about the comic, but I think a lot of people, once they see it, are kind of won over by how much we love
the
stuff.
trepidation is because it just looks so different.
Oh,
I mean, comics haven't really looked like this since the original Transformers series of the 80s, since the original G.I. Joe series of the 80s. So it's a return to form that is just totally appropriate for the combination of these two titles.
Yeah. No, we had a 0 issue on Free Comic Book Day. It was really good.
It was John, I want to thank you because me and John wrote it together, and together, apparently me with John is better than me by myself because that was the best comic I've ever made in my life. I was so happy with how it turned out, and like you don't know until it's finished if it's any good. And I couldn't believe that came out of me and you. So.
But issue 2 is better. I think we made the slideshow before the show started. I believe we were actually sold out of this con-exclusive Rob Liefeld cover. I believe it's possible we might have some more that are sort of lost somewhere, but we might have them by Sunday, but I don't know if that's actually true. They might be out. We do have the, there is an exclusive diamond version of the cover that some retailers here still have for sale.
You know, that cover is the reason I'm here before you right now. I was working on that cover, drawing the San Diego Convention Hall, and I was getting so resentful because I was thinking, I'm sitting here drawing the gosh darn San Diego Convention Center, and I'm not going to be in San Diego. And I got very, very resentful, and I got so resentful, I called John up and just sort of let him have it, and here I am. So you can thank that drawing.
Yeah, we've got an exclusive con edition of the second printing, which is actually, I think, one of the rarest versions of it. We've got that out at the stable right now. I was going to say that sound effect, but I don't have to. G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe's coming back in thank you, in September, written by Karen Travis, who you might know from, yay! She's written the Star Wars, one of the best Star Wars novelists, written Halo novels, Halo graphic novels, some Batman comics, and then drawn by Steve Kurth, who was drawing the previous series, but this new series is drawn in a completely different style. It's almost like a European graphic album. But I don't know, Michael, do you want to jump in and say anything about the new Joe series?
Yeah, it was about, I don't know, 8 months ago or so that John and I started talking about G.I. Joe and where we were, and we've had a really nice ride since about 2008 when we rebooted the series with IDW, and we did all sorts of exciting things between the Cobra series with Chuckles and a lot of the other the ongoing series that we've done. And I really started coming back to that whole idea of what was it that made the Cobra series so successful with that POV character of Chuckles, and how can we bring some of that back into the story, because G.I. Joe is always going to be a team story, and the dynamic between the characters is really what drives it. But I think when you have that really strong POV character, you just have something that delivers a different kind of story. So we talked a lot about it, and then came up with Karen Travis as a great choice, and we were really excited when she got on board. So I'm not sure how much I can actually say about.
Yeah, I don't know. Scarlett's leading the Joe team.
Yep.
We've kind of jumped ahead a little bit, and it's a really kind of hardcore, realistic look at G.I. Joe, right? I mean, it's like when they bust down a door to go into a building, they do it the way Special Forces really does. We actually were just having that conversation where Steve had drawn two of the characters out of order, and that's not the way you'd infiltrate a building. Yeah. So we're fixing it up. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's really interesting take.
I've always felt that Scarlett was this really great character who was kind of always sort of, she's obviously one of the main cast, but sort of had a secondary role in a lot of cases and never really got her time to shine. And we were thinking, like, who would really shake it up? And if you're going to have a new leader of the group, who would it be? And really thinking about her file card and who she is and her background. And you get this incredibly intelligent, strong woman who has had to deal with this, intense situations. And you know what? She would be an awesome leader. And so let's get her out of the espionage and business and get her right in the front and have to deal not only with the field but also with the whole politics that goes into being the commanding general of G.I. Joe. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. And what happened to Duke? Wait and see. G.I. Joe Real American Heroes continuing. That's the Larry Hama written series. It's a direct continuation of the original Marvel series. I have to say, this particular issue that we have this cover for is maybe one of the best issues of the series I've read. So if you've ever read G.I. Joe, Larry would do these sort of classic stories that would get into some like real particular military aspect of, you could tell what rifles were being shot by the sounds or something. This is a great story of the Joes pinned down, trying to get out, and has a piece of the storyline that goes all the way back to G.I. Joe #1. I'm just really excited about it. And then later, Giant Samurais. But that's what makes Real American Hero, and that's what makes it as much fun as it is. Hey, Dungeons & Dragons is back with Legends of Baldur's Gate. It's been a while. We've kind of been in hiatus, and I think it's one of the best, if not the best, Dungeons & Dragons series we've ever done. I love John Rogers' series. I love the Fells 5. This again, the thing I always tell anybody when we have a new D&D series: if you're a fan of Fells 5, this is not causing you to not have Fells 5. They'll be back someday. John still loves the characters. We're still doing it. He's a busy man, and schedules just get in the way. But Jim Zub is on there, so I don't know. You can say a couple words.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a new Dungeons & Dragons edition launching this year, 5th edition, and it's the 40th anniversary of Dungeons & Dragons, which means I'm old, and this is going to be awesome. Dungeons & Dragons, Legends of Baldur's Gate is focused on the current city of Baldur's Gate 100 years after the original video game series, if you've ever played it. And probably the strangest, most wonderful cult character from that video game is this gentleman called Minsk and his little hamster Boo. So he's this slightly brain-addled warrior, and we found a way to bring him from 100 years in the past into the present, and he joins up with a new crew of adventurers. And so it's meant to be something where if you've played the games and you know the characters, you'll enjoy it. But equally, it's a new, fresh adventure built off of from the ground up from the 5th edition. And it's just a great sword and sorcery adventure story. It's fun, it's bombastic, it's a little bit ridiculous, just like playing D&D around the table with your friends. And we are having an absolute blast putting it together. Max Dunbar, the artist, he's brand new. I think he's done a couple other comics.
Yeah, he did. I think he did Mocking Dad and some Red Sonja.
But he's a real talent, and I think people are going to be knocked out when they see what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's got something to prove on this book, and he's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, drawing a medieval city in every shot is an intense workout for any artist, and I'm not making it easy on him. And he is absolutely killing it on every single page. So I hope you give it a shot. If you've played Dungeons & Dragons, you'll enjoy it. If you've never played Dungeons & Dragons, we've still made just a great, fun fantasy adventure story that's well worth picking up and giving it a shot. So.
Like I say, I actually wasn't familiar with Minsk as a character, and now two issues in, he's one of my favorite characters in all of comics. He's absolutely delightful. I think if you like the character already, you're just gonna love seeing him back the way Jim and Max are handling it. And Windblade Sarah Stone is doing the beautiful covers, and for the beautiful A covers, Max is doing the subscription covers. So you take your pick.
Yeah, if you've never played Dungeons & Dragons before, they've just released a new basic game set that you can pick up as well, and it's a new player-friendly introduction set. You can try out the most popular tabletop game in the world. So.
All right, Littlest Pet Shop. The series is just wrapping up. Been a lot of fun. We're going to be doing a very value priced hardcover for it. So if this is something that, I don't know if anybody's been reading it, but if it's great for anybody, but great for kids. I think it's going to be a $10 hardcover that we're going to be putting out. That's it's really great to get into libraries, but into everybody's hands to take a look at. Obviously, this is based on the phenomenally popular show on the Hub. And nobody from Littlest Pet Shop is actually up here, so.
But it is written by Georgia Ball, who, if there's any
Yes.
pony fans in here, wrote the Celestia Micro, so she's super talented and knows what she's doing.
It's really great. I didn't mean to gloss over it. I just realized there's nobody here to actually, worked on it. Plus, I think everybody probably wants to get to My Little Pony.
So we I think it was 2 weeks ago, number 21 came out, and that's our Manhattan Mystery, where Applejack and Fluttershy, Rarity, along with the kids, Apple Bloom and Babs, go to see Trixie perform in Manhattan. And there's a diamond involved in her act, a rare diamond, and it goes missing. And everyone kind of is blaming Trixie because she's been up to no good in the past. But is she to blame? Let's find out. It's a classic whodunit. Pony style, so it's tons of fun. And as a former New Yorker, it's kind of like going back home via Equestria. So it's a lot of fun. Agnes, this is your first time drawing the actual ongoing. You've done a couple of the single issues, but how was working on the ongoing?
Awesome.
What was the most fun part? Did you enjoy creating some of the new characters?
Yeah, I love doing the new characters, but I really liked working with the cast of ponies. I thought that was really cool because I was waiting for that challenge for a long time, because drawing a few ponies it's a lot easier, and then when you have to draw the cast, it's a challenge, and I like being challenged. So right when I found out I was going to be doing the main line, I freaked out, to be completely honest. Like, I had a moment where I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I was so excited, and the book was such a blast to work on. Ted's such a great writer, and I've worked on him on Celestia and Spike, Friends Forever, and I really liked working with him. So when I found out I was working with him again, I went, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So then I calmed down enough to email Bobby saying, I am very excited to do this book.
So that's what's going on in the ongoing right now. Then after that storyline, we've got My Little Pony 23, which is a standalone story focusing on the pets. All of the ponies in Ponyville are acting very strangely. They're not being responsive to the pets, and or seem to be doing something that's not very good. So it's up to the pets to work together and save the day. And this is one of my. It's an almost. There's only about 2 pages of dialogue. The animals kind of talk to each other in word balloons. There you can see, yeah. So here's Angel, who everyone loves, trying to get the animals at Fluttershy's place to calm down and stop partying and try and figure out what's going on, and they are not very helpful in that regard. So it's just, I mean, this is one of those kind of, I think people are going to remember this issue just because it's so weird and different and offbeat, but it's really fun. It's been a great time working on it. Written by Jeremy Whitley and art by Amy Meberson, who really, we all love Amy. She does a great job, but she really took to the next level. And then in 24, we've got Discord taking Fluttershy and the Cutie Mark Crusaders on a very strange adventure indeed. They're going to be going to some different weird places and seeing some weird stuff. If you guys are familiar with Pony, you're familiar with Discord. He's one of the most fun characters to see and to write and to be involved with. Definitely in Ponies and ever, I would say. He's awesome. So if you don't need a Discord fix, this is where you're going to get it. And our sister series, Friends Forever, is going very strongly. I don't know if anyone remembers the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You might remember the poster was John Candy kind of hugging Steve Martin, and so this is Amy Meberson's take on that with Rarity and Applejack. It's just basically, this issue is just a big road trip, written by Katie Cook, drawn by Edie Price, and it's just, if you can imagine a road trip with Rarity and Applejack, you can imagine a lot of hijinks, but then there's some Katie and Andy thrown in here, so there's definitely going to be some fun surprises. And then after that, one of our more unexpected pairings is Granny Smith and the Flim Flam Brothers. So what's so fun about this series is that we can have kind of standard pairings which tell great stories like Rarity and Applejack, and then sometimes I feel like the writers of this series are just taking characters from out of a hat and be like, oh, hey, Granny and Flim Flam, great, let's put them together. But what's always surprising is that they find the real heart of these characters, and characters you wouldn't think go together have some surprising similarities, and there's a lot of heart in them, and that's been one of the surprising things about Friends Forever is how much heart the series has, exploring the friendship between these characters that you might not think go together. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then in the fall, we're going to have Power Ponies. If you're at Comic-Con, you probably are aware that superheroes are a thing, exist. So this is the pony version, which is tons of fun. This is written by Ted Anderson, drawn by Ben Bates. It's just classic superhero hijinks, pony style. So it's tons of fun. And we actually have, to give a quick little plug, we've got an exclusive version of My Little Pony 21, so you can read Agnes's work. But also in the back, we've got a 7-page backup story that features Maniac, who's the Power Pony's main villain. So that you can only get that here. So I recommend coming check it out. It's a really fun story. Maniac is another one of those characters who, like Discord, you can just have a lot of fun with. is totally crazy, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's the IDW Hasbro publishing line. So I guess well, thank you.